So hi guys, hello everyone, and welcome to this series of discussions with Prepzone. Today with us we have Abhinay, who has converted IIM Ahmedabad, and congratulations Abhinay, and welcome to our talk. So
Thank
how
you,
are
sir.
you, how are you feeling?
I am feeling very happy because the target when anyone starts the CAT preparation is always IIM Ahmedabad, and
Yeah,
I converted it, and that too in my first attempt. So I am feeling very happy.
बहुत ही सही. तो मतलब did you have any other calls also, or Ahmedabad was the only one?
No, I had calls from all the IIMs, ABC, Lucknow, Indore, Kozhikode,
Okay, okay.
Shillong. So I gave 7 interviews and I converted all of them.
Oh, nice, nice, amazing. So, was it a tough choice deciding between A, B, C, K, L?
For me, it was always IIM Ahmedabad is my first choice. Uh, because it's like I did my BTech in Gujarat, in Gandhinagar, which is very near to Ahmedabad. So since then, I knew that IIM Ahmedabad is something that I like to go because it is the best institute in the country
Absolutely.
for management.
Yeah. So, if you could
So
just
for
help
me, it
us.
was an easy decision. For
Yeah.
me, it
So,
was an easy decision.
yeah, from Gandhinagar to Ahmedabad. Yeah. And you belong to Gujarat, right?
No, sir. I am from Noida.
Okay. 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 Good. Then you'll definitely enjoy this. But I hope campus opens soon. So, you'll definitely have
Yeah,
fun because campus
fingers
life
crossed.
of these colleges is something you should absolutely look forward to. So let's start. Abhinay, if you could just introduce yourself to our viewers and mention your score, your background, and your how you went about your preparation, so that they can also learn from you and see help your guidance can if they can that can help them.
So my name is Abhinay Rana, and before starting the preparation for CAT, I have been working in Indian Oil for the past 2 years. I have
Okay.
done my BTech in Chemical Engineering from IIT Gandhinagar, and I got a percentile of 99.94 in CAT 2020. And when it came to preparation for the exam, I talked to a few seniors from my college who were already studying in different IIMs, and they suggested me different books for quant and for DILR. And I followed those books for about 2 months. I started my preparation in the month of April, and I solved those three books. I solved completely in 2 months, and after that I took test series from different coaching, and then I just gave tests after that. I gave a lot of mocks and I gave a lot of practice tests, and that was the preparation that I did for the CAT examination.
So Abhinay, you had some experience. So was it your first attempt at CAT?
Yes, it was my first attempt at CAT.
Okay. So how did you, I mean, you talked to your seniors and they gave you certain books, but did you know that you wanted to focus on particular section, or you just went about asking them what to do and then decided to chart your strategy? Hello?
So I didn't have, yes, sir, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I didn't have a lot of information about the three different sections. For me, it was basically that there will be a verbal section which will have grammar. I had very basic knowledge, and then DILR will have certain sort of puzzles, and quant section mostly focuses on mathematics. So for me, even before I started preparation, I knew that, okay, I will have to work hard at VARC
Okay.
because English is something that I was not very proficient at. But actually, when I started doing it, I found it easy. I found VRC easy, and the most difficulty that I found was in the DILR section.
Okay.
Because when you have 6 to 8 sets in an hour, so how do you choose the correct set? So that was one thing that I struggled with initially, how to pick the correct set to attempt in the examination. And quant I found easy from day one. There was not a lot of difficulty because majority of the maths that comes has already been done in your class 11th and 12th and your engineering.
Yeah, so very well said, Abhinay. From what I can infer from here is you should probably, and for our viewers, that you can probably take a dip test and see which section you want to focus on. So that's what you did. You started giving some mocks,
Yes.
and that's how you found out that VARC is actually not bad for you, which you had expected earlier, but DILR you needed to focus on. So
Correct.
that is very important to know where to focus and which portions need more focus.
Just to add to what I said, I started my preparation in April and I started giving mocks in the month of June,
Okay.
exactly 2 months. So it can vary from person to person. Some people start their preparation with a mock itself. Some people may give it after 1 month of preparation. I give it after 2 months of preparation. But the reality of your preparation actually will be learned only when you start giving mocks. Then only you will realize your strengths and your weaknesses.
So when you gave your first mock, before that you had some 2 months or roughly 2 to 3 months. So that, what were you doing then? What were you focusing on at that time?
So I was solving those 3 books, which were suggested by my seniors, and I was reading a lot of books.
So
I
which
was
were
reading a
these
lot of.
3 books?
These were books by Arun Agarwal, and I don't remember the names of the other 2 books,
Okay.
but these the common ones that are followed for CAT preparation. Arun
Okay.
Agarwal being one of them. And for my VARC, I was just reading books and newspapers. I was just doing that regularly. And I started reading novels in the month of April itself. And I used to make sure I finish a book in every 15 days or 20 days.
So that is very important, and that's what I tell our students in the RC sessions also, that don't read for the sake of learning to read. Read as a interest, make it a hobby, so that the papers or in the paper you find the RC also very comfortable. There is no pressure to read through it, because so
Yes.
people ask me how should they start. They have those fancy ideas in their head, but I always tell them that just start with a common newspaper. You can read any section if you want, then move on to the editorial section, and definitely pick up books of your interest so that the reading habit comes in. So that's very important, and you, I think, went very well
Yeah,
started.
exactly. When you start.
Abhinay, I lost you there. Hello. Abhinay. Yeah, Abhinay. So you were telling us the reading part.
So when you don't have a reading habit, it is very important that you start reading something that interests you in the beginning. So for me, it was the sports sections of the newspaper, and I started reading Sherlock Holmes because I was attracted to the mystery genre of books when it came to fiction. So I started reading sports section of the newspaper and Sherlock Holmes book. And then when you actually develop a reading habit over a few months, then you delve into sections that you don't like. For example, reading international news was not something that I liked, but I intentionally did that because I knew that in the exam there can be articles, there can be comprehensions which will be out of my liking zone.
Yeah.
So first you develop a reading habit and then move into the difficult parts.
Absolutely, very well said, Abhinay. And that's what we also suggest to everyone, that develop the reading habit first. And the reading habit not only helps in VRC, but it helps in maths also. So for the LR sections and even the DI section, if you have a habit of reading, you can pick up important information quickly. So that definitely helps. So Abhinay, you began with mocks. Then what was your strategy? Like you must have given like 30, 40 odd mocks. So what was your strategy around mocks?
So for mocks, I actually had 2 or 3 different patterns that I followed. For a few mocks, for example, like for 5 to 6 mocks that I gave, I ensured that I attempt only the questions that I'm 100% sure about, that I wanted my accuracy to be high. And then I saw in which section what was my performance, I analyzed it. Then for the next set of 5 to 6 mocks, I made sure that I attempt all the questions in the exam, that my speed should increase. That for those 5 to 6 mocks, I didn't care about accuracy, I cared about my speed, and I attempted 100% questions. So these were the different permutation combinations, and then I actually then found a sweet spot where my speed was also good and my accuracy was also good. So that I think at the end you need to focus on both the things, speed and accuracy both.
Absolutely. So many students approach us that their scores are low. So to them also we tell them that you should first be accurate, and with your accuracy you should increase the speed. But the delta is that with the speed you lose out on accuracy, but that should not be much. With practice your speed also improves and your accuracy keeps on improving. But the first focus, as you rightly said, should be on accuracy, because if you are doing less mistakes, your score automatically increases because the negative score is removed from your overall score. So that was very, you hit the bullseye over there in both the points with VRC and on the strategy part. So, Abhinay, how are you finding time? So you were working and you were also practicing giving mocks, analyzing them. So how did you manage with your work ex?
So I used to give mocks only on the weekends, and on work days, I used to study for around 2 to 3 hours and devote that much time every day. And I made sure that there was one day in a week where I did no studies. I ensured that there was one day which I kept free for myself, that I'll watch movies or just go out and walk, and one complete rest day every week.
So a word of caution to our viewers over there, that one day as a rest day is okay, but 5 days as rest and 2 days as work is not okay. So you have to strike that balance. Make sure that you are rejuvenating
Yeah,
and
because
keeping your mind clear.
that one day of rest was preceded by 6 days of work.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why it helped me a lot.
Definitely. So people sometimes lose track and they take 2 days off, 3 days off, and then you realize that you're taking 6 days off and working only for one day. So consistency again comes here as the underlying message, that you need to be consistent and you need to see, you'll see the results building up over time. It will not be instant, but it will take some time. So, Amina, when was it that you started realizing that, okay, this is the strategy that is working for me? So you first did the accuracy part, then the speed part. So how many mocks after how many mocks did you realize, okay, this is what I need to follow? And then you started building upon that.
So I started giving mocks in the month of June, and by I think August end, in 3 months, I would have given around 12 to 15 mocks. I was sure about my speed was what I wanted, my accuracy was what I wanted. So it took me 3 months and around 15 mocks to find the correct balance for myself.
All right. So can I sufficiently say that these 15 mocks you would have analyzed also, like if you were giving 2 to 3 hours to the mocks, the analysis part would have been almost double or more than that per mock. So to understand what mistakes you are doing, how to improve upon them, or how to improve your speed, tracking the questions which you could have picked but did not.
So yes, analysis after a mock is very important. Analysis is one of the key parts. And I actually didn't start by, when I started giving mocks, I was not very regular with analysis.
Okay.
But when I realized after a few mocks that neither my performance is increasing or nor it is going down, I am on kind of a plateau. So then I started to analyze the mocks. That what am I doing wrong in, for example, in the VARC section? What kind of questions am I doing wrong? So that actually helped me, because I realized in VARC section I was not very accurate in the jumbled para questions. If there are 5 statements, my 3 statements would be in the correct position and 2 statements will be switched.
Okay.
So analysis of your mock helps a lot in identifying your weak spots.
Definitely. So again, to summarize so far, you need to develop the reading habit, you need to work on your accuracy, then your speed, and then take them both together. You need to give a lot of mocks, and not just give the mocks, but also analyze your performance to see your shortcomings or to see the potential increment which could have been done in the mocks, but you missed, so that you realize what your mistakes are and if you can work on them. So, Abhinay, anything else you want to tell, like any strategy for quant or for DILR?
So for DILR, from my personal experience, it is very important to understand when you read a question, you should be able to tell whether I will take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes solving in this question. Because by the end of August or starting September, I read a question about DILR and I knew how much time will I take. I had attempted so many questions that I knew that, okay, I will be able to solve this in 5 to 10 minutes. So I should probably attempt it. Any question which I felt will take more than 10 minutes, I never attempted it in the first go. I only attempted questions which I was sure about I will solve in 5 to 10 minutes. And in quant, it is only about practice, because the more questions, there is no specific strategy that I followed in quant. It was just, I read the question. If I know how to solve it, I will go ahead with it. Else I will leave it for my second go. So DILR is something where you actually need a lot of strategy to identify the correct question.
Yeah, so very well said, Abhinay, because we've seen the past people we have interviewed. They have also said that you need to identify in DILR especially which sets to pick and which to leave, and not let your ego come in between. So many people take it on their ego that I will solve this set, and they take up 15-20 minutes on one set only and they leave out the easy sets. That is very important. And I believe that comes with a lot of practice also, like you said, that you solved so many questions that you could then identify, okay, this is my set and this is probably not my set, or for the second attempt. All right. So that was about on the prep side. Anything for the D-Day? What should be done? What should not be done? Did you take a leave on the day before, or were you studying?
So I had to go back to my hometown for the exam. So I had a day off before the exam, and it was not my slot. My slot was slot 1. I was actually happy that it was slot 1, so that if it would have been slot 2 or slot 3, I would have spent the entire day feeling nervous. So I just had a good night's sleep and ate a light breakfast and went ahead and gave the exam. Because if you have given 35, 40, or maybe even more than that mocks, it then becomes like a muscle memory for you. When you sit for the exam, when you have trained your mind so much, it becomes a muscle memory.
Absolutely.
So that is why giving so many mocks is important.
Very, very correctly said. And this, my one of my teachers also used to say this, that you should give so many mocks that the actual paper also feels like a mock, so that there's no pressure on the D-Day. And one thing that I used to tell my students was, try and take the mock during the time of your paper, so that again that muscle memory comes in and you have the habit of sitting for those 3 hours and during that time. So many times we feel sleepy in the afternoon. So you need to get rid of that, lest you have the second slot and you are feeling sleepy in the exam. So that is very important, that you train your mind and your body for the actual thing. So Abhinay, where does Prepzone come in?
So the result came out in the month of December, and I got a very good percentile, and I realized that I will be getting calls from all the IIMs. And I realized that, okay, preparing for the CAT is something that I did on my own. But preparing for the interviews, because I had heard so many things about the interview process, that they will ask you any question out of anywhere, and it is a grueling process. So I talked to one of my senior who was a student in Prepzone last year, and he suggested me that you just join it, don't take any tension, that Prepzone will take care of each and every topic that you want to prepare for the interview. So I contacted Shubham sir, and I started my preparation in around 12th January. And the first feedback that I got was that I am already late for the preparation, because the interviews start in February itself. But luck was on my side, and my first interview was not till 5th March. So I got enough time to prepare. Yeah, everything related to preparation, Prepzone handled it brilliantly. It was perfect preparing for the interviews in Prepzone.
So if you could just tell the viewers, what was your percentile and what was your sectionals?
So my percentile overall was 99.94. I don't remember the exact scores in different sections, But I remember it was over 98 in every section. In one
Okay.
of the section, I was 98 point something, and the other two, it was 99 point something. Overall
Okay.
percentile was 99.94.
All right.
And yeah.
So that is also important because many people, they miss out on ABC calls, especially A and B, because the sectionals, they miss out on the sectionals. So C definitely gives weightage to overall with a minimum cutoff for sectional, but A and B want a certain score in the sectionals as well. So that's important, that many people don't realize this while preparing. They feel that bare minimum in VRC or DILR will do, and they can focus on the other two. So want to tell the viewers that each and every section is important, equally important. You cannot let go of anyone, and that is what Abhinay also did, and the results are here for us to see. So Abhinay, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for giving your precious feedback and precious guidance to students who are preparing. And I hope that students can uh, take umbrage from this and understand what it takes to get into IIM Ahmedabad. So thank you, Abhinay, and look forward to interacting with you further ahead. And all the best for your journey at Ahmedabad.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.